The stadium lights in São Paulo shone brightly on a night that was supposed to be Alexandra Eala's moment of glory. The young Filipina star had carried not just her racket, but the hopes of an entire nation onto the court. Her journey through this tournament had been nothing short of magical, victories built on heart, determination, and the unshakable belief that she could stand shoulder to shoulder with the best. But in the quarterfinals, fate had other plans. As Alexandra stepped onto the court, fans waved flags, held banners, and chanted her name. For them, she was not just another tennis player, she was a symbol of resilience, a living testament that dreams from the Philippines could echo across the world stage. Every forehand she struck, every serve she launched, carried the weight of thousands of voices cheering her on. From Manila to Mindanao, the match began with a fire in her eyes. Alexandra fought with her trademark grit, sliding across the clay, grunting with every swing, chasing down balls that seemed impossible to return. The crowd roared with every winner, their voices rising like a wave that carried her forward. For a moment, it looked like destiny was on her side once again, but then, the cracks began to show. Her opponent, calm and ruthless, began finding her rhythm. Point by point, game by game, the balance shifted. Alexandra's powerful forehands clipped the net, her timing faltered, and frustration crept in. You could see it in her eyes, that desperate search for answers, that refusal to surrender. Even as the score tilted against her, fans in the stands covered their faces, some whispering prayers, others shouting encouragement at the top of their lungs. "Come on, Alex. You can do this." But tennis is a cruel game. It doesn't listen to prayers. It doesn't pause for hearts breaking in the audience. It demands perfection, and tonight, perfection slipped from her grasp. When the final ball sailed long, the stadium fell silent. For a split second, time froze. Alexandra stood on the baseline, her shoulders heavy, her chest rising and falling with exhaustion. And then, it hit her. The realization that her run in São Paulo was over. She walked slowly to the net, her face a mixture of pain and grace, shaking hands with her opponent. The crowd rose to their feet in a thunderous ovation, clapping not just for the winner of the match, but for the warrior who had given everything she had. And then, the tears came, not just from Alexandra, but from the fans. Grown men with flags painted on their cheeks, mothers holding their children, young girls who had looked at Alex as proof that their own dreams were possible, all of them, wiping away tears. Because in that moment, they weren't just watching a tennis match. They were watching a dream stumble. Alexandra Eala had not lost because of lack of talent, or lack of courage. She lost because she is human. And yet, in her defeat, she showed the very qualities that make champions eternal: humility, grace, and the promise to rise again. As she packed her bag and waved to the crowd, the cheers grew louder. "Alex! Alex! Alex!" they screamed, trying to tell her that this was not the end. That one loss in São Paulo could never erase what she means to them. That heroes are not made in victories alone, but in how they carry themselves in defeat. Back home, thousands of Filipinos watched the match live. In living rooms, in cafes, in dormitories, screens went black as the broadcast ended, and silence filled the air. Some cried openly, others stared at the floor in disbelief. Because Alexandra Eala had become more than just an athlete, she had become family. And when she hurt, the nation hurt with her. But here's the truth that every fan knows deep inside: this is not the end of Alexandra Eala's story. Far from it. Every great champion in tennis history, Serena Williams, Rafael Nadal, Novak Djokovic, has faced moments like this. Crushing defeats, heartbreaking exits, nights when nothing seemed to go their way. And yet, those defeats became fuel. They became the fire that pushed them to train harder, fight stronger, and rise higher. And if there's one thing the world has learned about Alexandra Eala, it's that she does not stay down. She has risen before, and she will rise again. Yes, the quarterfinals in São Paulo ended in heartbreak. Yes, fans left the arena in tears. But those same fans will be there tomorrow, and the next day, and the next tournament, waving their flags, chanting her name, believing in her comeback. Because Alexandra has given them something priceless: hope. The tears shed in São Paulo are not the tears of the end. They are the tears of a beginning. The tears of a nation that knows their star is only just getting started. So tonight, as Alexandra rests and reflects, as her fans cry and pray, one truth remains clear: this loss is only a chapter, not the whole book. And when Alexandra Eala returns to the court, she will carry those tears with her, not as a weight, but as wings, because champions are not defined by their victories. They are defined by the hearts they touch, the courage they show, and the way they rise after falling. And Alexandra Eala is a champion. This is not the end of the story. It is only the beginning.